Could they resist?
No.
No. And because I'm seeing here that Willis reminds people a little of Jalen Hurts as a runner, but with more arm talent.
Yes.
So if he's sitting there at 15, you'd have to take him, right?
You have to.
All right, welcome back. Hour number 2 of The Middle on a Thursday. Our thanks to Dave Zangaro joining us down in Mobile, Alabama. That stinks, though. You go down there and it's pouring rain.
Yeah,
you can't even watch practice.
Yeah, and especially, with if it wasn't for the COVID situation, you could go in and watch practice because
right.
But with that, they don't want you to be in there like that. But I mean, it's that's a great way to really evaluate players, man. All those players in one place. A lot of those players we spoke about I did games for this year, and I don't understand why I'm not down there, man. It just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? I flew down on my own dollar. You know what I mean? And went in. I just need a way to get to. Well, I could probably just walk in, but still, to be able to be around that and see that stuff, evaluate talent. Maybe I need to work with Howie Roseman. I'm going to Howie Roseman's office, tell him, hey man, put me down, get me involved.
Well, now the stream was saying that if you did go down there, you'd be on your own dime.
That's what I probably would have. Yes, yes, I would have had to pay for it myself. You know what I mean? Which is
now, would you have done that since you love this so much?
I would have. Yes, I would have. Because
I hope they're not watching, because then they might get the idea that you'll go do games on your own dime.
Well, I'll go down there and I'll go down there watching, but you'd have to pay for the information I receive from doing it.
Right.
I'm just not going to give it away free.
Right. No, hell no. Not if you're talking to me, you won't.
Right.
Now, Angry Al.
Hold on now, Barrett.
Right. Barrett. No, you need more. You need more. Angry Al's got a bunch of questions. You piqued his interest when you were talking about that engine. You put
no, it's too cold outside. I don't have a garage that I could do it inside, so I went on and paid for it, man. It's cost me $5,000, but that's the motor included, motor and installing and everything else.
Okay. Yeah, so
plus I get a year warranty on it.
All right.
I just bit the bullet and did it because I would have, if it would have been summertime and this happened. Oh hell yeah, I'd have did it myself.
Right. Okay.
It'd probably take me a day and a half to do it because I wouldn't be trying to rush it. I'd take my time, go eat lunch. Look at it a little bit, play around.
Don't you have to hoist that thing in there with with chains and stuff?
Oh yeah, I got a motor hoist. Yeah.
Oh, you do?
Yeah,
wow.
I actually got a cherry picker. Call it a cherry picker. I have a motor stand also. I put it on, and if I'd have did it myself, I wouldn't have just put this. It's going to be a regular stock motor. But if I'd have did it myself, I'd have been putting everything on. I'd been doing everything. I'd have changed the cams in it. I'd turn around. I'd probably put a supercharger on it, everything. Right. If I was doing it myself, because I could have the time. It's right there in front of me. I'd have changed the lifters. Put little I put new springs in it. Some tighter springs, so my lifters would get a better cycle with my lifters. I did all that stuff myself. And I just took my time and just really did it.
Wow, that's cool that you're able to do that. All right, I got a question for you. We talked with Dave about Malik Willis, who is becoming, and I think will continue to become, one of the real focal points of the first round and a very intriguing prospect. He probably won't get there to 15.
Nope.
But if Malik Willis is sitting there at 15 for the Eagles, could they resist?
No.
And because I'm seeing here that Willis reminds people a little of Jalen Hurts as a runner, but with more arm talent.
Yes.
So if he's sitting there at 15, you'd have to take him, right?
You have to.
Now, would you move up to 10 if you could move up to 10 to get him? Package 2 of your first to move up.
I wouldn't do that. No.
No,
I wouldn't. I'd package 1 first and maybe a third, but I wouldn't package 2 first for it. He's not that. He's going to be a good player in the league, but he won't be a 2 first round type of two first pick type of player. he's going to be a very, very good
Well,
pro.
if he is Jalen Hurts with a better arm, though, I mean, isn't that's a first round pick, isn't it?
Jalen Hurts with a better arm?
Yeah.
Yes, a first round pick. Just
right.
One and maybe a third. But he's good, man. He can throw from inside the pocket. He's a pocket quarterback. He's just as able to go out there and run and be an athlete also.
Is he
that's
what?
The difference. He's the pocket. He is a quintessential pocket quarterback, and that's how you make the distinction between him and Jalen. Jalen is an out of pocket quarterback.
Right.
He makes plays with his elongating plays with his feet.
Is Willis like 6'2", 6'2 and a half?
6'1".
6'1". Okay,
he's 6'1", so that's maybe 200 pounds, 205 pounds. Strong arm, gifted arm.
And went to Auburn initially. These people like, how do you end up at Liberty? He was an Auburn kid and transferred.
Same type of mindset. He's one of those guys. He's going to do the little extra things to be a good player. Born leader. Everybody loves him. He'll be able to direct the team.
Right.
The team can rely on him, and he could be that for him. He's just 6'1".
Right.
Just like, you look at Jalen. Jalen's probably 6'1". So
with lifts on, he's 6'1". I'm just looking at some of these other prospects here. There's a bunch of offensive linemen at the senior, but we talked about the Falalale guy, whatever.
Yeah,
he sounds like a total project, and somebody I would not be interested in the regard. I don't care. No. I don't care if he's 7'3".
No, and that's what he would be and he's nowhere near like a Jordan Mailata who's 6'.
Right. Mailata is much more athletic.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Yeah.
This guy's a stiff, but he's just so damn big that it's gonna be hard. He would be like remember the offensive lineman played. He came in as a defensive lineman with the Eagles. They moved him to offensive lineman, went to Pittsburgh and was there for a long time.
He was the Army guy.
Yeah,
he played at Army.
Yeah, forget his name. But Stream, they know.
Yeah.
You guys know I'm not good with names. What's this guy's name? Vallejo or
no, it was longer than name than that. Yeah. He came in with Chip.
Yep.
When Chip was here, and
he's playing in with the Ravens right now.
Right. Yeah, it begins with a V. I forget. But he had Villanueva.
Yeah, there it is. Villanueva.
That's it.
See, appreciate it, Stream. Appreciate it.
Right. Not Villanova. Villanueva.
Yeah, Villanueva. Yep.
Right. What about
that's who he is, but he's bigger and he's a little more clumsy. He's a stiff. Now, I mean, I know, Stoutland's a great coach and Stoutland could coach anybody up, but I just wouldn't waste my time on a guy that big and he can't move. It wouldn't work with me.
Did you look at this guy from Central Michigan, Bernhard Raimann, offensive tackle?
Yes.
He's from Austria.
A Central Michigan guy.
Right.
Remember I did a game in Central Michigan.
You did. And he originally played wide receiver in high school, this dude.
And he can move, man. He's good. He needs to get a little streak in him, but he didn't have that. But he's good, man. Technician, really good run blocker. I like him. He'll come in and he'll play for a long time. He'll give you 10 years of being a good pro.
Huh.
He'll be 10-year pro.
It says here that the first time he saw American football on TV, it wasn't the NFL or college. It was the book-turned-movie, The Blind Side. Because the guy grew up in Europe, in Austria, right?
Right.
Yeah. He's from Austria, entered football as a wide receiver who has now blossomed into a left tackle. He became a tight end in between there. And he's believed to be a top 50 pick.
Yep.
Played year-round soccer. Yeah, this damn.
He has great feet too.
Well, he must be if he played a lot of soccer.
Well, that was the first sport I ever played was soccer. Yeah, I didn't play football until I got to high school because I couldn't play in Pop Warner because I was always bigger than everybody. And if I played in Pop Warner football, I would have been 7, and I'd be playing with 12-year-olds and 13-year-olds.
Right.
That they'd have been beating up on me, and I'd have became. I doubt if I'd have loved the game if I'd have did that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm playing with older kids, and they know more about the game than I did. So the first time I stepped on a football field, really, besides playing, tackle football out in the park and stuff like that, was in high school. I get to high school, first time I go to practice, put the pads on. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I was learning from scratch. And I remember defense, Ken was like, hey, wherever this kid goes, hey, wherever that ball goes, you go get the guy with the ball. And it was over. I'm in freshman practice. We couldn't even run plays. I was, tackling the quarterback before he even got back, because nobody could block me. And after that, it just took off, man.
Wow.
Took off. I mean, I told you, I hated football, man. I hated football with a passion.
You were a basketball guy first. Philly Voice, Evan Macy, has a piece today. Will Carson Wentz be on the move again?
Yes.
Sports books think so. The Colts hope so. That's the headline. Yeah, Evan Macy does a nice job over there. The sportsbetting.ag, one of those offshore books, has the Buccaneers' next quarterback as Jimmy Garoppolo is the favorite at plus 400. Carson Wentz is the second favorite at plus 450.
Wow.
How about that?
With the Texans?
No, Buccaneers.
Buccaneers?
Yeah. How about that?
They really sucked in. Bruce Arians will retire.
You think he might retire before that?
Yeah, he would retire. You make him do that, he'd retire.
Right.
I'm too old. He'd be like, I'm too old for this shit.
And then they hired Doug P to be reunited with Carson Wentz. There you go.
Bro, it'd be a whole lot of antasses and everything in Tampa Bay then.
No kidding. But Bill Barnwell at ESPN is saying that he would be the fit. Would the Colts be willing to trade Wentz away after one season at the helm with no clear successor on the roster? Indianapolis GM Chris Ballard refused to commit to Wentz as his 2022 starter. And the Bucs would also have to get creative to fit his deal on their salary cap. He has $82 million coming to him over the next 3 years.
Are you kidding me?
I
can't even laugh, man. I mean, he's having the last laugh.
Mm-hmm.
Carson's got the last laugh. He's gonna get paid. He just soured me on him, man, because those first 2 years, he played well. He was ascending.
Right.
And he just turned me off on, how he just, picked his ball up and just left. I mean, that ain't cool to me. You know what I mean?
No.
You got teammates. You just can't just leave like that.
Yeah.
To me, that's wrong, man.
Yeah, I agree. But that's interesting that they'd love to see him go in Indianapolis. Like all these writers are writing pieces about it. Yeah,
they are pissed up there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And how he's sitting back like this.
Yeah, right.
He's sitting back.
Meanwhile, he's got 3 first-round picks.
Right.
Yeah. Well, now the other thing that happened since yesterday, we were talking about Jim Harbaugh going to Minnesota to interview on signing day. And we all thought that was a sign that, hey, this is all but done. He's out at Michigan. He's going to be the next head coach. There was rumors about him assembling this killer staff with Vic Fangio and Pep Hamilton and all this stuff. Ends up, he interviews for over 9 hours up there and comes back to Michigan. Now, ESPN, NFL Network, they're all, out there, trying to do damage control for the league and for the Vikings, saying that there was no offer extended. Now, I don't know if there was or not, but John McMullen, who we love, and I love especially for his cynicism regarding all this stuff, thinks that's all BS, that they're just trying to make it look good. Like, we brought Jim Harbaugh in here, but it wasn't a fit. He seems to think that there was an offer or they were talking money and it wasn't enough. And now they're just trying to make it seem like, well, he wasn't flying up here with the idea that he already basically had the job and we were just going to work out a deal. He basically, we wanted to see if he was right for our culture. Now we're starting to hear about the word culture again, and that this might have been calling Harbaugh might be a little rough around the edges, much like Mike Zimmer was. So you start hearing all this stuff,
right?
And it's like, I don't know if I believe that. I really don't. I think he's not going to come cheap. He's making a ton of money at Michigan.
And he making like almost 10, like
8 to 9 million,
yeah.
I think, is what he's making. So, I'm kind of leaning with McMullen here. What do you think? You're going to interview for 9 hours and you're not going to get an offer?
Well, that's all them going back and forth about, the money aspect of it.
Yeah.
And why would he want to leave Michigan? He just got to turn it around up there anyways.
Well, I don't know how permanent that is. He beat Ohio State for once, but
right.
And
plus he could just wait it out. He
could
somewhere now.
He could if he keeps winning. His name and now will be coming up next year whenever there's openings, because it's like, well, he interviewed last year,
right?
So
right.
He obviously still has his eyes on the NFL, and I'd love to see him back in the league personally.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. He, Harbaugh's a great coach. Harbaugh is in a position right now where he now has the best hand in the deck, because he can hold that over his Michigan's. Hey, I just got interviewed for a head coach job in the league,
and he took a pay cut like a year or so ago.
Right.
I think because they were paying him a ton of money. He took the pay cut. Now he's beaten Ohio State, and I guess they're probably going to have another great recruiting class coming in, I would imagine. If he beats Michigan State and beats Ohio State again, yeah, he's going to be a number one candidate.
No question about that. No question. So he can hold that over Michigan, but he can also, his hand is now being dealt with the next job openings for next year.
Right.
So that's very strategic by him. Even though if he wasn't entertaining it, he now holds the cards. He has the best hand of duck. He's in the driver's seat right now, because he can go through and keep doing what he's doing. But now he also can, and especially right now, because both of his coordinators are gone. His defensive coordinator and his offensive coordinator are gone. They took jobs somewhere else.
Well, I thought Gaddis was going to be the successor. A lot of people were thinking at Michigan if Harbaugh left.
Well, I thought he was going somewhere else.
No, that's the other guy went to Baltimore.
That's right.
The defensive coordinator left. Yeah.
His DC left.
And they were also talking about Bill O'Brien being a possible candidate at Michigan. Right. Matt Rule's name even came up. Matt Rule's name comes up whenever there's a big college opening. And I don't know if it's like the Carolina ownership putting it out there. Hey, he'd be a great candidate. Let's get him the hell out of here.
You say his bosses,
out there. Yeah. What's that reporter's name again? Send in a text that Matt Rule would be perfect up there.
Oh, man. See, that's why, man, I don't like. That's why I wouldn't coach. I just wouldn't coach, even though the money would be awesome. But two of my two guys I went to college with. One was my roommate, and one I played with. I'm going through the same process. They just running back coach down for the Miami Hurricanes. New coach comes down there. He's looking for a new job. He landed a new job, actually, one of those schools down there in Florida. But, just that uncertainty.
Yeah.
It's just tough, man.
It's almost like you can't unpack your luggage.
Right.
You keep a suitcase packed.
You pick it up and leave it. It's just like being in the NFL in all actuality. The only thing, their contracts are guaranteed. So whether you sit out a year or not, you'll still get paid for the existing money from that contract.
The coaches, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
well, what do you know about this Kevin O'Connell guy, who it looks like Minnesota's going to hire? That's what everybody's saying.
Nothing.
He was the offensive coordinator with the Rams for a short time. He's 36 years old, very young. Another one of these Sirianni types, huh?
It looks just like one of those new upcoming coaches. One of those
He played in the league.
I don't remember him.
Yeah, he played. He came out of San Diego State and played for. Looks like he was on a lot of practice squads, like bounced around. The Patriots, the Lions, the Jets, Dolphins, and Chargers. And it looks like he was a practice squad dude.
And those I told
quarterback.
Those are the guys that end up being the best coaches because all
Mm-hmm.
they do is sit back and learn and see what's going on in front of them.
Right.
So that's why I said, when those guys like me, like myself, the last half of my career, I can sit back and I can see, what I needed to do, what works, what doesn't work, what offense, I mean, I have a playbook, and I took a playbook from each one of my teams that I played with. I kept a playbook, and I took the best plays from each team that I played with, and I got some offensive plays that are out of this world. I could sell these plays, man, and get top dollar for them because I took a little bit off the air raid offense. I took some of the Steelers and their grounded and pounded. With the Eagles, I took the West Coast offense. I mean, I've taken all that stuff and made my own little playbook.
Right.
And it's worth its weight in gold, no question about it. As far as run game stuff, passing stuff, I just took the protections. I don't know the route combinations and stuff like that, but I do know like the plays in which you'd run these routes off of.
Mm-hmm. I
could put a blocking scheme to a route that would work out perfectly for them, and I could get top dollar for it because I took the best. I mean, the best of the best. Howard Mudd. From there's a coach named Mouse.
Mouse Davis.
Yep, I took a piece from all of them, man.
Right.
All of them. And made my own little offense.
Let me ask you this though. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, a team called you and said they wanted you to come in and interview for a coaching position or whatever, head coach, whatever it is. Like you got 24, 48 hours to put together your presentation to whomever. Like, are you immediately just going and looking at their roster and saying, okay, this is what I would, if I'm, drawing up an offense or a defense or whatever it is for this team, is that where you start?
You have to start that way.
Or do you come in with your philosophies first and forget about their roster?
So you have to come in and look at the roster that you have. I mean, I've seen coaches, you could take 4 plays and run those 4 or 5 plays to perfection against any front, any defense you have. You can do that. But it depends on what level you're on. If you're in the NFL level, defensive coordinators get paid millions of dollars to stop that stuff. So after about 2 or 3 games,
they catch up.
Exactly. Right. So you have to make sure you're highlighting the players you have. Like if I went into the playbook that I would go with the Eagles would be much different from the playbook I go in with the Cincinnati Bengals. Would be different from the play I took to the Steelers. Would be different from the playbook that I took to Kyler Murray down in Arizona.
Right.
You have to customize around the players that you have. I would not ground and pound it with a team that passes the ball all the time. You have a passing offensive line. It wouldn't make any sense. Those guys don't come off the ball. And they're used to putting their hand in the dirt and driving off the ball. But I wouldn't go in with a team that passed the ball all the time and try to ground and pound it. It'd be foreign to them, and they wouldn't be used to that physicality of coming off the ball.
Right.
So you just really have to customize who you have in front of you. I'm not going to go out there and run an option play, with a quarterback that drop back passes. Like I'm not going to go to Atlanta and have that quarterback going out there and running the same offense that I would have Kyler Murray running.
Right.
It'd be ridiculous.
I've
seen guys do that.
You match it to your talent.
Yeah, I've seen guys
do well.
Like Chip Kelly.
Right.
He didn't care what he had.
Inside zone, outside zone.
Here he has DeMarco Murray, whatever his name is, Murray.
Right. Running to the
sideline.
Run him
laterally. You don't run him laterally. You run him north and south.
That was ridiculous.
Right. It was ridiculous.
Will Kelly says that your playbook would be called ah-da-da. No, but you would. I don't know about that, but you will have a play in there. Hey, let's run ah-da-da.
Right.
All right. Like that's a red zone play. It's a red zone call. Ah-da-da.
It'll be a shovel pass,
right. like Mahomes, like Andy Reid.
Yeah, Mahomes. Yeah. Run it.
The tight end's coming in here.
Ah-da-da. Ah-da-da on 3. Ready?
Right. Blue 80. Mahomes says blue 80 the entire game.
Yeah.
You ever notice that?
Yep.
Oh,
and just saying that's the difference between when you see quarterbacks these days And because you see, you see, Eli. I mean, not Eli, but Peyton like 142. Blue, rabbit red.
Right.
Cinco. He's
Omaha.
doing all these gyrations and all this stuff, and come to find out, Jeff Saturday said none of that meant anything.
Right. Yeah.
He's just hollering.
All those histrionics make the defense think he's changing something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And bam! All they see, they click in that one word, and bam, and they're going.
Right. I like when they look to the wide receiver out the right, and they go
right.
Like this. Or Brady. That's awesome. Yeah, you'd have another play. The stream says, "Let's run. Hate to do it to you." Or Dr. Rick. That would be a call at the line. Dr. Rick.
Ready. Ain't no cussing. No fun.
Right. Jackpot.
Right.
Jackpot.
You go to the ref. Hey, those guys are leaning over there on the other side now.
Right.
Leaning to the left.
Oh my God. Oh man. Oh, Sean Bradley on special teams.
Right.
Oh, good. Special teams coordinator. Yeah. All right. We got a final half hour. We got some video to play. Some Washington football team fans, it looked like, gathered by the stadium yesterday to celebrate the new nickname. And we got a little video that we'll have some fun with. And we also have, since yesterday was signing day, did you see Texas A&M, I think, got all the accolades for having the #1 class. I love how everybody evaluates the class before they've even put a uniform on.
Right.
But I guess that's what we do. But Jimbo Fisher was accused. His program was being accused of something, and he didn't like it. And we got some good audio from that. That and a whole lot more in the final half hour of the middle here on a Thursday.
Go for the midnight.